Once upon a time, there was a poor fisherman who lived with his wife in a small, humble hut near the sea. Every day, the fisherman would go out to catch fish, hoping to provide enough food for himself and his wife. One day, as he was fishing, he caught a large flounder. To his amazement, the flounder began to speak. "Please, let me go." The flounder pleaded. "I am not an ordinary fish. I am an enchanted prince. Release me, and I will grant you any wish you desire." The fisherman, being kind-hearted and not wanting anything in return, released the flounder back into the sea. He returned home and told his wife about the talking fish and its promise. His wife, being ambitious and not content with their poor living conditions, urged him to go back to the sea and ask the flounder for a wish. Reluctantly, the fisherman went back to the shore and called out to the flounder. "Flounder, flounder, in the sea. Come, I pray thee, here to me. For my wife, good Ilsebil, wills not as I'd have her will." The flounder surfaced and asked what the wife wanted. The fisherman conveyed his wife's wish for a cozy cottage to replace their dilapidated hut. The flounder granted the wish, and the fisherman returned home to find a charming cottage where their old hut once stood. However, it was not long before the wife grew dissatisfied with the cottage. She insisted that the fisherman return to the flounder and ask for a grand castle. Once again, the fisherman went to the sea and called out to the flounder, who granted the wish. A magnificent castle appeared in place of the cottage. Still, the wife's ambition knew no bounds. She demanded to be made king, then emperor, and eventually pope. Each time, the fisherman, though reluctant and unhappy with his wife's greed, went to the flounder and relayed her desires. Each time, the flounder fulfilled the wishes. Finally, the wife, now blinded by her insatiable greed, demanded to become like God, to control the sun and the moon. When the fisherman went to the flounder with this final request, the sea turned dark and stormy. The flounder replied, "Go home. She is sitting in her old hovel again." When the fisherman returned home, he found his wife sitting in their old, decrepit hut, just as they had been before. The grand castles, the royal titles, and all the wealth were gone, taken away as a result of her boundless greed. And so, the fisherman and his wife lived out the rest of their days in their old hovel, a poignant reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and greed.